Hello, everybody, and welcome to the year-end report or the fourth quarter report for 2020. My name is Eliezer Rizarri. I am youth director at New Britain Spanish Church, and I'm doing this video to sort of briefly summarize what we've done in the final quarter of the year. Very quickly, I'd like to start off by saying that I've done two videos on this exact subject. When Life Gets Lemons is covering the first 6 months of 2020. Down to This is covering the third quarter of 2020, and the video I'm doing right now is covering the fourth quarter. So let's get right to it. So one of the biggest things that I started pushing in this final quarter was the use of an official Facebook page. Now I had been using Facebook, but I've been using my personal page, and at first, because I didn't realize that the quarantine was going to last this long, I just figured I'd use it. I used my personal page, and that was that. However, it became more obvious that this is going to last a while, and so the necessity for an official page for this ministry presented itself. And so I decided rather than just making another one called NBSCA Youth, I will start my own ministry page. And so I came up with the name Hardware Hive Ministry. Why Hardware Hive? Because the city of New Britain has two nicknames among many others. One of them is the Hardware City, and the second one is the Beehive. So I fused both together into the Hardware Hive. This is good because now we have our own little inside joke in a name, but it's also a name that's inviting and very neutral. Another reason why I didn't just call it New Britain Seventh-day Adventist Youth is because if and when I have to step down as leader and pass the baton to someone else, I kind of wanted control over the content I have produced rather than just passing it on to the next guy. Now, I would gladly work with the next youth leader, whoever it is, if they want to keep putting content on this page or start their own page. But I just wanted to have my own ministry page set up. So another thing that I was doing was collaborating with a group that reached out to me. They're called the One Accord Guild. Essentially, they want to minister to gamers, but not just gamers, also creative people on YouTube and other platforms. And so they called me both for advice and to be part of their graphics team. So I was given an early concept of their design, and I created this one that you see on the left. So after about 2-3 weeks, I don't remember exactly how long of back and forth and editing, I came up with this design, which is not perfect. There were still a few nitpicks that the graphics team had, so I passed it on to the next person who created this version over here on the right. Now, in this YouTube video, low quality, you can't really tell much of a difference, but trust me, this one is much nicer. Like when I saw the work that they had done, taken the rough concept that I'd done and polished it so beautifully, like we were all amazed. And it's nice to be part of a team. Normally, when I make designs, I do them all by myself. So being part of a team that constantly gave you feedback, it was a fun experience. And again, and I love the final design, which was not made by me. I'm not trying to take credit for this. This was done by someone else who did the whole thing from scratch on Illustrator while I worked on Photoshop. Illustrator is much better for logos, so that's why they chose Illustrator. I also forgot how to do Illustrator, so I need to relearn how to use it. But yes, this was much nicer, and it was a team effort. But this particular version was not done by me. And I want you to understand that because recently the Facebook page of the General Conference actually was promoting this ministry, One Accord, the Guild. And as you can see right there, there's the logo. Now, again, they're using the final logo, the one that I personally did not work on. However, it is pretty cool to see the GC promoting the logo that I had worked on, though granted I worked on it as part of a team. And again, if you guys want to join One Accord Guild, I invite you guys to do so. It's a great thing. I'm a part of it, but I'm not here to talk about them. I'm here to talk about what I've been up to. So as always, I've been doing the digital youth services, and so by late October, I had the Honest and True, which was based on Martin Luther the Reformer. Also for November, I had this event. It was a bit too ambitious, and it didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to. The idea was to have invited speakers in both English and Spanish and have them talk about what they were grateful in 2020. Again, I wasn't able to get everyone that I wanted, but as you can see, here's who I did get on the Spanish side. Got Maribel Flores from Mexico, Joe Alexis de la Cruz from our church here in New Britain, Marisol Galarza from the Norwalk Church, and then myself because The idea was I was gonna have all guests and I didn't have to talk, but a lot of the guests were unable to go through, so I had to fill in. On the English side, I had Daniela Arcos. I think she's from the Pennsylvania conference. I had Pastor Danny Velez, youth director for our conference. John Harris, of course, from our church, and of course myself because, like again, I had to cover. And it's unfortunate, we made it work. I originally was planning a much larger project, but it is what it is. It's a learning experience. Once again, every month I do a youth service, digital youth service. And for November, I did the Bread of Life. And I have a lot to say about this one because I have been doing on Instagram a series called Thursday Talk. Now, what inspired the idea for Thursday Talk was this right here, the Bread of Life episode. But it was too ambitious, even for me. It was too ambitious, and I sort of figured it wouldn't get done ever. So I kept pushing off the idea and pushing off the idea until eventually I found this at Walmart. I got this little ring lamp tripod and a bunch of stuff and a better headset, which I never actually got to use in a video. But I had all the equipment that I needed to make this video a reality. And then came the long staking process of actually scripting it and then filming it. And it just took me forever. I think from start to finish, filming took 5 hours. Scripting probably took like 6 hours. So I just felt like it was so much work over such a short video that it almost wasn't worth it. But when I uploaded it and it went live, I've received so much positive feedback. It is actually my most watched video on Facebook at 206 views and my most watched video on Instagram as well. So it's interesting because I thought that the video wasn't going to be that good, but apparently it's everyone's favorite video. And it does show me that this is the direction that I should be looking into. Definitely for next year, there's going to be more food content and more YouTube vlog style content. I don't know which one of those two aspects it is that people loved about this video, but I'll make sure to give both. Another collaboration that I did was I worked with the Spanish group GPS Internacional Conectados, and they invited me to do a Instagram live, and I did it, and I was a nervous wreck, but it got done. It was beautiful. I had very much fun. So I think it's important now more than ever to collab with as many people as possible and just get all these ministries out there in the open. And the last thing that I did for this year was, of course, the final digital youth service of the year called New Beginnings. I'm not gonna lie, after the Bread of Life one, I was sort of winded, so I sort of slapped it together, and yeah. So what comes next for 2021? Well, I'm gonna change the upload schedule, and I'm gonna change the format of what I do. So next year, things are gonna look different, but I do believe they're gonna look different in a better way. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff that I feel nobody cared about, and I'm gonna replace it with what I've noticed people like, and hopefully that will be a much better experience. So with that said, this has been the fourth quarter report. I'm Brother Eli. Thank you for watching. God bless you.